Alright, the time has come, my hardest 100 days challenge yet. In today's video, I'm going back in time to try and survive 100 days in the unforgiving climate of the Ice Age. In this world, everything is covered in snow and most animals have died off in the low temperatures, meaning that the basic resources like food and water are so much harder to gather than usual. And the only animals that have made it through are the ones that have adapted to the cold and outlived their predators. But that's not all. In this world, I have to keep myself warm to avoid hypothermia, so I will have to find shelter and make a fire to stay alive, making this 100 days challenge so much harder. So if you enjoyed this video and want to join me on my journey through many more 100-day hardcore challenges, and my journey to 200,000 subscribers, then please subscribe. It is completely free and almost 80% of my viewers aren't subscribed to this channel. But now, sit back, get a hot drink, and get ready for a trip back into the past. This is 100 Days in the Ice Age. So, day 1. Straight away, I was thrown into the snow, and I could see some of those woolly mammoth guys in the distance. So I decided to grab myself some wood and search around for some shelter, since I can only stay out here for so long before the cold starts to kill me. Luckily, I found this abandoned campsite quite quickly, which had a campfire, so I headed over to check out what was here and to warm up under the covers. Inside of the chest there was nothing special, but I did decide to tear this tent apart and fashion the wool into some nice fluffy armor, since this clothing will keep me warm through the cold nights until I come up with some sort of shelter to sustain some heat. What is in here? Ooh, golden apple. Okay, and some food, I'll take it. Alright, let's get some armor, or clothing. This is not armor in any way, but yeah, okay. Some wool armor, this will keep me warm. And after crafting up some tools, I headed out to find some food. As mentioned, food is rare in a world where most ecosystems have completely frozen over and died. So I made a quick trip to the closest stream and took out a few fish. This is one of the best food sources I'll find for a while, so I'll have to make the most of it. Whilst I was exploring, I kept stopping by some lava pools to stay warm, since this snow was really getting to me. And on day 3, that was when I realized I had a real problem. I need water in this world to stay alive, so at some point I'm gonna have to make this bottle thing to scoop up some water and replenish my thirst. But for now, I can continue to explore and deal with that problem when it is presented to me. I had to spend a few nights out in the cold making temporary living arrangements until on day 4, I found this area in the spruce forest. You guys are probably thinking that this place looks pretty plain right now, so I started gathering some wood to build my house. You guys know those wood cabins that people usually have in the snowy mountains everywhere? Yeah, I want to build one of those, so that's exactly what I started working on. Honestly, it is too cold out here for me to be mining dirt. I just hope I don't, die of thirst. Oh, that sunset that looks nice. After a few days of hard work and tackling the cold nights, I had this small cabin built. It looked just how I wanted it to, and inside I had my food cooking to keep me replenished through my adventures. Alright fish, it's time for bed. But then it was time to get myself a drink. I was on 3 water bars and desperately needed to purify some water and quench my thirst. So I scooped up some water from the pond, and then at last I could get back to working on my house without the sudden threat of dying of thirst. And since I can't always make a trip to the river, and also due to the fact that unfortunately there aren't unlimited fish in those rivers, I needed to make myself a farm under some shelter because this snow will kill my crops without a roof over them. So I did what every hungry boy does, makes a wheat farm. And you know what? I think it looked so good next to the cabin, it really fit in. But looking forward into my adventure, I am going to need some better protection than wool armor for when I try and explore different locations and take on some of the beasts that are out there in the wild. So on day 11, I started working on a mine, all the way down to the core of the world to try and find myself some iron and mainly diamonds. When I was down there, it seemed to get a little bit too hot, and my hearts turned red since I was dying of hypothermia. Not hypothermia, hyperthermia. I was dying because I was too hot, which is definitely not what I want to happen. So I decided to leave the mines with the iron that I had already gathered and just avoid burning to death in the caves for today. When I came up to the surface, I melted down my iron into some iron armor and then started fishing. With the cold temperatures in this world, my crops were struggling to grow quickly, so I was starting to get get into a serious food issue. So I just started fishing in a pond near the cabin. But that was when I quickly realized with the snow falling, this pond just freezes over, meaning that I can't actually get any fish. So once again, I did what every hungry boy would do. I started building my own pond on the other side of the cabin. But this one will be under a cover so that the water doesn't freeze over and so that I can actually fish. So after making my own pond, I spent 2 days fishing, since I needed food for my upcoming adventure. It was time to take on the wilderness of this world properly, and try and find anything else that has been able to survive the cold temperatures of this ice age. So after probably spending a little bit too much time fishing, on day 20 I set off into the wilderness with very little protection to try and find anything. Even though this is like really hard of a challenge, and it's really cold, this is so cool. And on day 21 I came across a new campsite. This one didn't have much interesting stuff inside, and just over in the distance I spotted a hobbit hole that I checked out too. Aha, whoever is living in here is not so sneaky. Oh, a hobbit hole. As expected, in a hobbit hole there was nothing of good value, so I set off continuing to explore through the night. I really need a bed. Why did I not bring a bed? Oh, skeleton, hello. Oh my god, it's so dark. I can't see anything. I can see like 5 blocks and then it's just blind. And in the early hours of the morning, I stumbled across some more woolly mammoths. I have no idea if these guys are hostile, so I decided to move along before I found out the hard way. I will not get over how cool these things are. And as I did move along, that's when I came across a bear. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's a bit too close. Yeah, it doesn't take much of a genius to know that this guy is not friendly. And he almost wiped me out of this challenge on day 22. But with my quick thinking, I was able to take him down, and then the adventure continued. And after a little bit more travel, I finally found a village. These guys had been able to survive the Arctic conditions and provide me a safe spot to sleep the night and keep warm. So after repaying them nicely by stealing all of their loot, I ran home to my cabin with my riches to continue my journey. After waking up from a warm night in bed, I walked out to head into the mines and was instantly attacked by a saber-toothed tiger. This guy did a load of damage, and after peering through the windows, it seemed a whole pack of them had shifted in through the night and decided to claim my land. But after some time had passed, the coast seemed clear to make a run for the mines. So I played this safe and set up a barrier so that I could take down the tigers without having any damage dealt to myself. Alright, come on guys, take the bait. Oh, where did you come from? Oh, okay. Alright, this is not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Did you hear that growl? You guys hear that? This guy wants me dead. Alright. I think he's done. Can finally sleep. After some time had passed the next day, the coast definitely seemed clear now, so I dove into the mines. This time, I was determined to get a bunch of diamonds to create myself a diamond armor set. But after taking down a load of frozen zombies and only finding 18 diamonds, the heat of these caves was once again getting the better of me. And I couldn't deal with it anymore, so I had to resurface on day 30 with what I had. When I came up, I made a run for the door to avoid any predators lurking in the blizzard, and then started to cook up all of the ores I gathered on my trip. And the next day, I went out to fish. It seemed not all of the saber-toothed tigers were down, since one of them was right next to my pond. So after taking this guy down, I spent the next 2 days fishing for food. I kept a close eye on my back in case another pack rolled through my area, but all in all, it was pretty safe. Fishing's kind of boring, right? It's cool, but it's kind of boring. And then with my new fish, I headed back into the mines to finally grab all of the diamonds needed. Do you guys like fish? Like, I don't really like fish, but feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you like fish. I mean to eat, not to look at. Like, do you like fish? Strange question, I know. Oh, well, back to the video. On this mining trip, I managed to secure over half a stack of diamonds, meaning that when I resurfaced, I was able to craft up a bunch of tools and, of course, some diamond armor. So with my new diamond tools, I ventured back into the depths of the caves to gather some obsidian for an enchantment table, since, of course, I want to enchant my armor. But I realized then I had a slight problem. I do not have much sugarcane, so any enchanting that I will do will just have to be at level 1. So I spent a few days fighting the cold days and nights and built a sugarcane farm under some shelter. Since if you don't cover your crops with shelter, they just won't grow. Can you believe that? Crops don't grow in the snow. Who would have thought? It's not like we have summer for a reason, right? But at the end of the day, I'm in an ice age, so I can't really complain. And luckily by day 42, I had my sugarcane farm done, and this thing was under a shelter, so my sugarcane will grow. Yes, it's working. It's already growing quicker than the wheat. I don't know why. But to accompany all of the sugarcane, I need leather for books, since I can't upgrade my enchantment table without them. So on day 43 with my new diamond armor, I set off into the wild once again to try and hunt down some cows and harvest them for some leather. On my journey, I found yet again another campsite, and this place had some bookshelves, which were perfect for me to steal. But as the loud wind blew in the background, I didn't hear myself set off a trap underneath the tent, and almost was exploded into 1,000 pieces. Oh, what was that? Where did that come from? So with that extremely close call behind me, I continued to hunt through the snow and look for some cows. After a while of running, I came across another village, which came at the perfect time, since I was starting to get very close to getting hypothermia. So I took the opportunity of this village to warm up next to the campfire and gather some resources that I didn't already have. And after these guys accommodated me for the night, I continued to adventure through a real ice age. An ice spikes biome. This place was so much colder than everywhere else I had been, and hypothermia kicked in super quickly. So I found a tent and tried to take the opportunity to warm up. But my torches did nothing but melt away the ice around me, which actually led to me getting colder and all the way to an ice outpost. This place actually had pillagers inside, and I was able to get myself bad omen unintentionally. Oh, you guys are actually in here. Hello. This tooth is so OP. Oh, I got bad omen. I need to try and warm up, because I'm going to die here if I don't. But then, with none of my methods actually warming me up, I decided it was the best idea to leave the ice spikes and head back into the spruce forest, where I could warm up quicker and avoid death. As I left, I came across a new creature. I found myself a reindeer. This thing was so cool, and I was able to tame him and ride him around like a horse. Oh, this is cool. He's actually really quick as well. Oh, there's another one. Hey, dude. So with me now being almost 8,000 blocks away from home, I decided it was best for me to use him as a companion to join me on my journey home through the cold climate. Along the way, I had to find any heat sources I could, and came across so many more mammoths before finding a place to lay down for the night. Oh, yes. Finally, I've been looking for one of these. I need a bed. It's getting nighttime. I need somewhere to sleep and to kind of warm up a little bit. Oh, a golden apple. And as day 46 rolled around, I came across a new village. A giant tiger village. In this world, each biome has its own style of village and structures to deal with the Ice Age. But with me being stupid, I forgot that I had bad omen. And I walked right into this place and started a raid. So with me being on low health already from the cold, I had to bunker down inside of one of the houses and heal up before taking on the pillagers. But when I left, it seemed the climate out here was even too cold for the raiders to show up, since no matter where I went in the village, I couldn't find a single one. So I decided to spend the rest of the day here warming up and making sure that no raiders appeared, before grabbing my reindeer, who I decided to call Bert by the way, and heading out. As we left, we found this frozen shipwreck, and inside was a treasure map. Alright, I'm hoping for diamonds or a treasure map. I'd like diamonds, but... Oh, okay, a treasure map, I'll take it. So, as all laws state, if you find a treasure map, you must find the treasure. This turned out to be so much harder than I expected, but after excavating basically the entire beachfront around the X, I found the chest and was able to steal all of the loot from inside. Oh, finally, I can see the chest, okay. Oh, diamonds, alright, I got diamonds in the end at least. There's not really much more cool stuff here, but diamonds, finally. And then once again, me and Bert set off into the tundra to head home, stopping off at as many campsites as we could along the way back to stay warm. Oh! Okay, how is that in a campsite? What? Before finally, on the freezing night of day 51, returning home with some incredible loot and amazing memories of our trip. But when I woke up in the morning from a nice warm sleep, I realised that I left Bert out in the cold winter's night to fend off for himself, so decided to give this guy the respect he needs and started working on a little stable for him to live in. I spent a few days building away at this hut and decided to give some upgrades to the entire village whilst I was at it, since this place was really starting to come alive. But since my last leather trip turned into a trip of just exploring the entire world and starting raids, I still needed to set off to find some cows for leather. After a little bit of travelling, I found these zebras, which for the sake of the video making sense, I'm going to call these Arctic horses, since zebras should most definitely not be in the snow. And please don't come at me in the comments for calling it a zebra, it is not a zebra, it is a zebra. And along the way, I had to keep stopping off by some lava pools to warm up. And after a long journey through the night, I spotted a spruce village, which was something I really needed to help me keep warm and sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I realised that most of these villages have horse and cow pens where they trap the exact animals that I need. So me and Bert propelled ourselves through the snow to all of the villages that I could remember the location of to hunt down all of their cattle. And of course, I helped myself to a fair few in the wild on my travels. But nonetheless, I continued adventuring through this world and staying over at many different villages on the way. And on day 62 on my way home, I found another creature, a moose in the wild, and this guy was not friendly whatsoever, so I decided to run away before I was rammed to death. And finally, when I returned home, I was able to start farming up my sugarcane to turn all of this leather into the bookshelves that I have been after for so long. But still, with all of this leather, it wasn't enough for a full enchantment table. And with my cabin seriously running low on storage space, I decided to make an underground Ice Age themed storage cave where I can store more of my stuff and organize it all properly. This build was so simple, but honestly it turned out super dope and works for exactly what I needed it to. And with this build finally being done, I set back off to try a different method to get the rest of the leather that I needed. I wanted to lure some cows home to breed them so that I had an infinite leather maker here at the cabin. But on the way out, my path was obstructed by some tigers, so I had to take care of them. Alright, come on. I'm not going for you. Okay, maybe I am. Oh, wait, where did your friend come from? Alright, come over. Ouch. Okay, keep the shield up. Yeah, these guys don't stand a chance. I'm using their own teeth against them. Whew. And once they were down, I was able to continue with my trip and finally located some cows. But I had to head home to grab the wheat since I left it there. And then when I came back, I lured these guys home all through the day and the night until they were trapped in my cabin. This bought me some time to make them a cow pen so that they can live inside of that where I can breed them as much as I need without them getting in my way. And whilst I was constantly breeding these guys, I killed some time by moving my enchanting setup into the storage cave, which really fit well. And after much breeding and luring of more cows, I was able to farm these guys for all of the leather I needed and make the bookshelves to finally finish off my enchanting setup. Alright, are you going to give me level 30 now? Come on. Yes! Okay. Alright, but I got no XP. This is not good. So yeah, for the last basically 20 days, I have been trying to get an enchantment table, and once I had it, I didn't even have enough XP. So I decided to go down into the mines and continue to strip mine with my hammer to get as many ores as possible and get a load of XP, since I don't have villager traders on this. This turned out so much more successful than I expected it to be, and I was able to resurface on day 81 with 36 levels of XP. But it seemed that I had travelled quite far away from home, so I had quite the journey ahead of me. I travelled for a super long time, and for some reason on day 82 the unexpected happened. The snow stopped. I'm in the middle of an ice age and the snow came to a halt. It felt so weird being able to see a far distance and not having fog stopping me, and to not have to worry about my body temperature. But when I arrived home, I was able to enchant my tools with my new XP levels and make the most of it. But the next day when I went back out to set up a nether portal, the snow had rolled back around, so maybe the clearance was too good to be true. And when I entered the nether, I realized I had a big problem. Due to this place being super hot with all of the lava, I couldn't go in there without burning to death. So I did some research on the mod pack and found out that to deal with the hot temperatures, you can make stiffened honey armor, which is basically the opposite to the wool clothing I had. This cools you down instead of keeping you warm. So I set off on day 83 to see if I could find any beehives to get some honey from to make myself some armor. I ran around for so long without finding any beehives, but I did come across a jungle covered in snow. I never thought the day would come. But the snow didn't deter me from checking this place out, and I was once again stupid enough to enter this place with bad omen, causing a raid to start. But once again, it seemed the raiders couldn't handle the cold, and didn't want to leave their woodlands mansion wherever it is located, so thankfully these villagers will live to see another day. And with that knowledge, I moved on through the jungle, and spotted a native NPC walking around with a bow and arrow. So with me being unsure of his strength, I headed the other way and continued to search this jungle through the night. And when escaping from a skeleton, I stumbled into a jungle fortress by accident. I had no idea what this place was, so decided to check it out to see what I could find. Alright, what is this place? It looks like a nether fortress, but it's not. This looks like a blaze spawner, but it's not. Let me get the chest. Come on, let me through. Let me through. Ooh. Okay. It's not actually good, but it's cool. It sounds so good with this mod. I don't know what mod it is that makes this whole environment sound cool. Oh, it's flooded. Oh. Hey, are they piranhas? Stop biting me. Oi! Stop! Some parts of this fortress were submerged with water, and there was a few chests of loot in here, but all in all, this place was just a stronghold-style nether fortress in the overworld. Ah, another chest. Okay. Ooh, diamonds. Alright. What can I get rid of? I'll get rid of... Whoa! Where did that come from? Alright, give me my diamonds. I want to get out of here. Oh yeah, and look at this. You may have thought the snowy jungle was weird. Look at this desert. The adventure continued, and I most definitely didn't get a replacement version of Bert to join me on the way to this camper's tent that I found. Hello? What's this name tag? Is this another... Oh, it's another NPC. Hey, dude. Whoa! Are you coming at me? Oh, you are! Hey, chill. Chill. What was that all about? You gotta have something good in here, surely, if you're coming at me like that. Oh! Oh, yeah, okay. I understand now. I understand why you came at me, my bad. After stealing all of the good stuff from this camper's base, I went outside to grab Albert and we continued on our adventure to try and find some beehives, which took a huge turn when I came across this. Yeah, that's a woodlands mansion, something I've only found by accident once before. So I went over to this place with the realization that this could be my only chance to get a Totem of Undying, since raids don't seem to want to happen in the Ice Age, because all of the raiders don't want to take on the cold. So I approached the entrance and took this place on. Hello, dude. Yo, I honestly love this mod. It sounds so good. Oh, hello. Aha, the evoker, finally. Give me a totem, quick. Die, come on, there we go. Okay, drop the cobble, thank you. Oh my. They look so strange. What's going on there? Alright, well there's the first totem at least. Oh, feel confident now. Oh, another one. Okay, hey dude. Give me your totem. Oh! Oh, you're doing quite a lot of damage. Oh god, no, eat a gapple. Screw it. I've got one spare. Oh, I didn't want to die there. I know I've got the totem, but there's no point in having these apples if I'm not going to eat them. Right, come here. Let me get another totem. Thank you. Alright, Vexes, leave me alone. So on day 89, me and Albert were a long way from home, so we decided to start heading back, because we wanted to make it back in time for the end of this video, and we still had the Ender Dragon to complete at some point. And finally, at the end of day 91, I made it all the way back. But unfortunately, from the one thing that I was after on this trip, which was honey, I didn't manage to find any. But then the luck came back on my side, since on day 91, I took a break from playing to edit this video, and as I was editing, I saw a beehive on day 3. So I headed over to where I saw that beehive with some bottles to try and gather some honey. But since I'm honestly a noob when it comes to Minecraft knowledge, I had no idea how to get honey from this thing. So I actually broke the hive to try and milk the bees. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. But then I did some research and found out I needed a campfire to smoke out the honey, so I set off for the entire of day 93 to try and find another hive. But of course, in the middle of an ice age, there aren't many bees buzzing around, so I couldn't find any. So that was when I decided if I want to defeat the Ender Dragon on this adventure, I just have to brave the Nether and try to survive in there. But I quickly realized I had the whole situation judged wrong. When I entered the Nether, I was only burning up since the portal was right next to some lava. So as soon as I got some distance from it, I was able to explore this place normally, and most importantly, not burn. Oh, my temperature's going down. It's working, yes! So I found myself a Nether fortress and started taking down some blazes and wither skeletons. And on day 95, I got my first wither skeleton skull. And on day 96, I got my second and third. I have never gotten 3 skulls this fast in my 9 years of playing Minecraft. I felt so lucky. But I didn't focus on that too much and straight away headed over to a warped forest to take down some endermen for ender pearls, since I still really wanted to take on the ender dragon before the end of this video. So when I had all of the blaze rods I needed, I left this place, headed home and prepared for the battle of the end. When I returned home, I crafted up my Eyes of Ender and then was given a hint as to which way the portal was. Unfortunately, my first eye broke, but luckily I brought enough resources for spares. And I had to travel for a long distance. I did not prepare for this as much as I would have liked to. I brought barely any food, which in the long run costed me quite a lot. But eventually I found the stronghold and was able to make my way down. This stronghold was also a custom structure build. But that didn't make it any harder to find the portal, thankfully, and I was able to add my eyes in and then was ready to enter the end. Alright, here we go. Hopefully it isn't super cold in here and I'm not going to freeze to death. Let's do this. Yep, it was snowing in the end. Honestly, this video is so insane. But the snow did not stop me from being an absolute sniper and taking out every single tower with my bow. And then I was able to do so much damage to the dragon. The light coming from the portal as well as the snow made it so hard to see anything near the middle. But I didn't let this stop me and I was still able to do so much damage. Until it was only one bow shot that was needed and then the dragon was down. Hey, finally, this snowy dragon has met its demise. And after I gathered up all of the XP from this beast, it was time to head home. On day 99, I had no food remaining and the portal was luring me in, so I made the leap. And then when I returned, it was the night time of day 99. I grabbed some apples, healed up, and then went to sleep. Which meant when I woke up, it was officially day 100. I had made it and survived 100 days in an ice age. Honestly, the survive mod made this video 10 times harder than I expected, with me constantly having to be careful about my body temperature and my surroundings, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to go down there and smack the like button, subscribe to the channel, it is completely free, I am on the road to 200,000 subscribers, but that is all for today's video, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one, peace.